Feel free to start whenever you're,
Alright,
whenever you're
we'll
ready.
make a start and see.
Red and four-leaf clovers.
Four leaf, yeah. Keep an eye on that one, yeah. Alright, this is, hello again everybody. Today, this afternoon, we've been up to Tomahawk this morning and looking at soil acidification trials. We're now looking at going back to the carbon and pasture trials, which is part of the Australian government's regional regional land partnerships program. And this is the other diverse pasture trial we've got. So on the other side is standard mix. We've only got two species up there. We've got Barbaria and storm white clover, and on this side we have a mix. Here we have tonic plantain, which has really done well here, chicory, punit chicory, which is doing pretty well, astrid red clover, storm white clover, impact 2, perennial ryegrass, savvy cocksfoot, which I don't think I've seen much of, hummer fescue and bearley perennial ryegrass. So those two perennial ryegrasses are high production.
You're doing my job. There's no chicory and there's plenty of cocksfoot.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of cocksfoot. I take it all back.
No, you've got to get in there and have a look.
But have a look, yeah. All right. So today we're up at we're at Scottsdale at the, what area is this?
Jetsonville.
Jetsonville. So we're in Jetsonville. This is Clinton Lette. He's a farmer here. He was in vegetable production, but he's now moved on from vegetable production, and he's gone back to just cattle production. And he's a how many generation farmer here?
A few.
A few, yeah. So Clinton, with this pasture here, did you have any issues with it at the beginning at all?
Oh, early it was hard to establish because we've got an inherent problem with pinkweed and radish, so we had a lot of weeds and we couldn't spray to knock them out, so we just had to graze and it seemed to all eventually bounce back, which was good, but it was completely smothered in pinkweed, so we had a lot of trouble. Well, we thought we had trouble, but it eventually thickened up. And
was there a light spray of herbicide? I think
yeah, there was we went for a very light spray.
Yeah. No, we can't see any pinkweed at all now.
Yeah, no.
So it's come really well.
Like perhaps the chicory may have suffered.
Yeah, there is chicory further
down.
I think the chicory might have suffered a little bit. There is some of it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably a drier.
It's a bit dry here.
Yeah, a little bit better. It cops the wind a bit here. And it was
I've done 4 measurements over the last year because it's only been established for about a bit over 12 months. Done 4 measurements for dry matter production. On the diverse side, it was pretty well 11,000 of kilograms of dry matter, and on the standard it was 9868 I got. So the difference is 1,134 kilograms. So for each grazing, for here, you had 280 kilograms of dry matter extra on this side, on the diverse side compared to the other side. So it adds up. Converting that to in terms of meat for cattle, you're looking at about 15 kilograms extra on this side per hectare of extra meat production on this side per graze, which equates to $54 extra on this side compared to the other side.
Oh, right.
Working on a basis of meat being about $3.50 kilogram. Any comments from you on this?
Yeah, no, it's just a beautiful balanced pasture of perennial grasses, perennial clovers, white clover, red clover, the cocksfoot, fescue and diploid and perennial ryegrass. Yeah, it's top of the range stuff.
So we'll keep this going here, Clinton, for next couple of years and see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting next year, see how the other species dominates the...
Well, you might find if it's drier up here on the bank, you might find the cocksfoot coming through.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Chicory is well known to be able to tolerate pretty dry conditions and big taproot, so if that's, you might find that up the top and the ryegrass dominate down the bottom.
And over the 3 diverse demonstration trials, one at Hagley, one at Rosevale and one here, on average for putting this in per hectare, out of all three, you're earning more money from the diverse side. But that'll come out in the fact sheet. We're going to have a webinar in a few weeks' time to discuss these different trials.
I'll just make a comment on the sowing rates here. We've seen at several of the sites where there have been high sowing rates of the perennial grasses. Well, this one it's quite the other way around. The combined sowing rates of the ryegrasses of 9 kilos, and it's actually heavily in favour of the herbs and the clovers, the 2 clovers, and you can see the benefit of getting your clovers a bit of space and not being out-competed by the perennial ryegrasses.
That's interesting, because traditionally we do sow high ryegrass, like up to 30 kilograms a hectare, to outcompete the pinkweed and the radish early. So it takes a couple of years for the clovers to show up in other pastures, and we can promote them a bit with irrigation. But here we sort of had the weeds, but the other plants have got going. So yeah, it's an interesting comment.
Yep, and as I said, it's not a weed in sight.
Can't see one weed. No. Okay, so in summary, with the last 2 days we've been over to Hagley, Rosevale, up to Tomahawk, looking at soil acidification, looking at carbon pastures, and we're finishing up here in Scottsdale at Clinton's place. I'd like to thank all the farmers who've allowed us to come on their farm and be interviewed. I really appreciate that, really do. And it's great of them to just to talk about their experience on these places and how it's all gone, and what their thoughts on the trial. So Eric, in summary, hope you've enjoyed the last 2 days and learned something yourself and taught other people things.
Always learning. And, you know, it's been good to see. We've been to a diverse range of properties and seen some diverse pastures. We've left the cream to last. But yeah, it's interesting when this just shows what you can grow with water and fertiliser and good species. Some of the others aren't so fortunate and get the rainfall that they get here, but still it's been really, really good.
It'll be interesting to see what the carbon levels, because we took initial various carbon testing here. It will be interesting to see over time how much carbon does build up in these pastures, especially with so much vegetative growth.